welcome back to A Chapter a Day.
Keeps the devil away.
I'm Pastor Pleck, and along with Holland Gregg, we are going to take a look at Matthew chapter 8. We're going to find out some really great points or observations that we can make about it. We're going to give some truths that we can learn about God, learn about people, and then see how we can apply them using the SPEC method: sin to avoid, promise to claim, example to follow, command to obey, and then knowledge to believe. Okay, so Pastor Holland talked about some observations. I'll first start out with the outline that I saw. You first have Jesus healing a leper, Jesus healing the centurion's servant, Jesus healing Peter's mother-in-law and others. And then there's this cost of following Jesus that Jesus lays out. Like, you've got to give it all. And then Jesus calms a storm and then casts out demons in the country of the Gadarenes. All right. What do you see here? What's some observations you've seen?
Okay, so the cost of following Jesus kind of happens right in the middle of the chapter.
Yep.
And it's sandwiched by, I think Matthew does this a lot, sandwiches an important truth in between, two other kind of related things.
Right.
And so the sandwich here is, you got this, it's going to cost you everything to follow Jesus. What that sandwich between, I think, is like what my observation here is, these stories that are meant to give you great confidence that you can trust Jesus when you give up everything to follow him. And so why? He heals the leper, the centurion servant, the centurion that comes to him, and Peter's mom. You see these physical healings. He has power over the physical body, right? Then he calms the sea. He has power over nature and the physical world. Then he casts out the demons. Spiritual world.
Bam.
Jesus has power over everything. If there's anyone, that you can feel safe following and giving up everything to follow, it's Jesus, the one who has power over the body, the natural world, and the spiritual world.
Yeah, I personally just want to dive into that centurion servant. Here is a centurion, a Roman occupier. He's a commander of about 100 men, and he asks Jesus to heal. And Jesus doesn't look at him and go, "You filthy, occupying swine."
Right.
He doesn't go like, "You know what, you've probably abused a lot of people in your day and you got your power by whatever. He just goes, "All right." And then he marvels at his faith. Okay, and then what's wild, Jesus digresses for some reason onto hell. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Like, this is where a lot of people go like, Jesus never preached about hell or never talked about hell. And I'm like, what? No. He's like, man, I've seen such faith in all of Israel. And then he goes, verse 11, I tell you, many will come from east to west and recline at table with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven, while the sons of the kingdom will be thrown in the outer darkness. Meaning, sons of the kingdom, the people of Israel, will be thrown out, because here is this centurion who is not of Israel.
Right.
He is clearly a part of the children of God, and
Because he has faith.
Because of his faith. And so there is punishment awaiting those who do not believe that Jesus is the Messiah, and understanding fully about his power, that he can remote heal. He doesn't have to lay hands on. He can just go like, it is done, and it's done no matter where on the globe, which is why when you pray to Jesus, you don't need to actually be anywhere. You just need to be praying in the Spirit, asking God to do the work. You don't need to be touching anyone. You don't need the loudness of your prayer is not the thing. It's the object of who the one you're praying to. It's his power.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just really appreciated the Jesus talked about hell, and then talks about how this guy who wasn't a Jew is being ushered into the kingdom of God.
It's so cool. And what I love, like, this guy says something here that I think is like pretty important for our culture today. He says, I'm not worthy that you should come under my roof. Just speak the word and my servant will be healed. And then he explains why he has the faith to say that. And he says, for I am a man under authority.
Yeah.
Having soldiers under me. He's over some and he's under. He understands authority and how authority works. Something I think is totally lost on our culture today.
We're kind of we're like, hierarchy bad. But here,
this guy's saying, I know how hierarchy works. If you're in authority, you can just give a word and someone's going to do it.
Right.
And Jesus, I believe that you can just give a word to who? Who's this? For him, he's like, I can give a word to my servant and he'll go do it. Who's Jesus giving the word to? The sickness. He's saying you can just tell the sickness from here, or like, and it will obey you and it will leave. Like, he understands Jesus has the total authority to demand sickness to leave someone's body.
That's wild.
And it's based on his understanding of there's hierarchy, and there's people who are in charge even of the physical world, and God, you're in charge. Jesus, you're in charge. Like, I believe that. And Jesus, celebrates and marvels at this guy's faith and his understanding of how the world works, that Jesus is in charge.
On the flip side, his authority scares people. So so you've got two different, you've got the centurion who's not a Jew, and he has great faith. But then you've got the Gadarenes who are not Jews, and they are terrified by Jesus. And they're like, hey, please leave. You just killed a herd of pigs. We don't know how we're going to eat now. And you're like some crazy magician. It's time for you to go. Even though the two dudes that were standing there are healed and in their right mind.
Yeah.
What is that? What is that?
Yeah. I mean, the people, this is the Gadarenes, Gerasenes, these are not people who are probably like familiar with the scriptures, the promise of the Messiah. They just see a dude who cost them all their pigs.
Right.
And is apparently friends with the creepy demon graveyard guys. And, to me, I'm just like, man, they're kind of freaked out about this. They're just like, get out of here. Like, let us keep our simple country folk life with our pigs, like, leave us alone, man. And so they see the authority and they don't understand it and they're afraid. So I think Jesus' authority, if you trust him, it's very comforting. Right?
Yeah.
His authority, if you trust him, it is very comforting to know he's in control. He can, you're in good hands. If you don't know him and don't trust him, his authority is probably terrifying, right? Because if you're not with him, well, he has the authority to send you into outer darkness where there's weeping and gnashing of teeth.
Right. And you're probably like, I don't want anything to do with that. Please leave.
So the authority of Jesus isn't merely comforting or terrifying. It's one or the other, depending on your relationship to him.
That's really good. All right, let's give some truths about God. I love that Jesus says, I am willing, be cleansed. Like, he is really not only able, but he is fully God, fully man, but he's able to go and take away sickness, especially something as crushingly awful and dark as leprosy. Like, that was a death sentence. And then this guy comes with humility. If you're willing, you can make me clean. He's like, I will be clean. I love the simplicity of the statement. I love the non-show of it. I love all of that. And the guy has just like Herculean hope. And then Jesus is like, hey, just go do the regular thing that you're supposed to do for cleansing according to Moses. I thought that was wild.
Yeah.
Anyway, but Jesus responds to faith, not status.
Yeah, that's good.
What do you got? Truth about God?
Truth about God. He has authority over the physical, the natural, the spiritual.
Nice.
It all belongs to him. And so you can, a storm's coming your way. You can pray that God would subdue the storm. Even the wind and waves obey him. A family member is sick and suffering with some kind of disease. You can pray for God to heal. And someone, is being tormented by a demonic spirit. You can pray that God would save and deliver. So just remembering, like, this is what's true about God. Nothing's too hard for him, and nothing's outside of his control.
Here's something about people. People often doubt even when Jesus is near. So you could see a miracle. And I think sometimes if we just had a miracle, people would believe. No, they wouldn't. It might reinforce whatever it is they previously believed, because faith isn't by miracles. Faith is by hearing, and hearing by the word of God, where God declares a sinner righteous on the basis of grace by means of faith. It is a gift of God so that no one can boast. Isn't that the beauty of it? So it's not like if there was a miracle or if this one person believed, then many would be saved. Although God could use that person. But I do think sometimes we doubt even when we see miracles.
Yeah, that's good. This is it for my example to follow for application. Peter's mother-in-law says that he touched her hand, the fever left her, and she arose and ministered to them. first thing she rose up, I'm healed now, let me serve you.
Yeah.
I'm just like, man, what a great model for the Christian life. Jesus, you saved me, I'm going to serve you.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Okay, how about this? The command to obey, follow me. When Jesus says to follow him, it should cost us everything, or at least something. I think sometimes in our culture, like, Christianity it might not be cool, but it's not taboo. And so you're not going to like die. However, it should cost you something. And clearly, Jesus wants people who are willing to lay down their lives, lay down their stuff to follow him.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
It's good. I think combine those things together and say, Jesus saved you. And so follow him, serve him, whatever the cost, whatever, maybe what's one, maybe more practical to narrow it down to like, okay, what is it set before you today that you know you need to let go of to follow Jesus more?
Oh, nice.
What is something that man, this game I'm obsessed with, this habit I have of scrolling my phone for 3 hours before bed that, I don't read the word, but I, spend all day on watching reels, whatever. Or maybe it's this relationship that you're not supposed to be in that is keeping you from being fully devoted to Jesus. Whatever it might be, follow Jesus. Arise. He saved you. Rise up, serve him, follow him, leave it all behind. Anything that's holding you back, let it go today.
Hey, that's a great word. From our house to yours. We'll see you tomorrow on A Chapter a Day.